Welcome to this video tour of Required Systems Compliance Declaration Audit Tool. My name is Gordon and I'm going to take you through the features of this new piece of software from Required Systems. This system has been developed with health and social care experts, care home managers and experienced care home inspectors and auditors to allow care home owners and managers to demonstrate how their care home meets the requirements of the Health and Social Care Act 2008. Once you've bought the software from the Required Systems site and installed it on your computer, the software will open up on the home screen, which you see here. Depending on which version of the software you've purchased, you've either got access to a single audit trail which you can work on, or you can have multiple audit trails in different locations and on a server or shared area. Before you start filling in the audit trail document, you should read the important information that's located by clicking on this button here. This information will help you to complete the audit trail document. So let's have a look at the actual audit tool document. Let's click on the tab here. There are two areas in here. The left hand area here shows a list of all the 28 CQC outcomes. On the right hand side is the grid where you fill in your evidence, further actions required, by whom, and a target date. By simply clicking on one of the outcomes, we get the appropriate grid displayed on the right hand side. Before we start filling in any of the details in here, we should set up the care home details. So we click on the tab here. What we need to do by minimum is to put in the name of the care home. So I'm just going to call this again the demo home. And I'm going to set the date for my audit. And I'll set that to the 1st of August 2010. One of the things you can do here is to set the target date for all entries in the audit to the same date as the audit. This saves you having to go through and individually fill them in later. You can of course change any of the target dates individually. I'm just going to click this button now. After you've done that, click the Save button. And we're now ready to start filling in the grids. Let's go back to our CQC Outcomes and Audit Tool tab. And let's look at the very first outcome here. Each of these boxes can be edited. You can move around between the boxes either by clicking using the mouse, using the arrow keys, up and down, left and right, or if you're in a box, you hit the Enter key, it moves you down, or the Tab key moves you across. Because the Enter key is programmed to move you down the grid, if you wish to take a new line within any of the boxes, you have to use the Shift key with the Enter, as in the tip up here. Each of these boxes can be considered like a mini word processing page. So I'm just going to put some information into this box here. It's not up to me to say what information goes in here, but this is just going to be done for the sake of showing you how to edit. Okay, the first piece of evidence to show compliance here would be a statement of purpose. So I click in here and start typing. I want to go down and take a new line, so I put my finger on the Shift key and hit Enter, and that moves us down. We would also have things like an equal opportunities policy. Shift and Enter again to go down. And we could have observations from staff. And we could have one last one. Let's say service user survey. We've now got scroll bars in here so we can scroll up and down and work on this. But if we move off this box onto another box, the box will grow to show you what's inside it. If any further actions are required for this, we can put in the action here. So in this case, let's say the statement of purpose needs reviewed. And we can enter in here whose responsibility that is. That'll be the manager. And let's say we change the target date for this to 8th of August. So that's our first entry in. We can then move on and complete the rest of the entries here simply by clicking on the required grid. At this point we'll save what we've done, so we click on the Save button. It saves any changes we've made into the document that we're working on. At this point it may be worth talking about the undo options. You'll notice here's an Undo All button. What this will do is it will take the document back to the position it was at before the last time you saved it. If you want to undo something you're typing, I'll just take an example of that. If I type in some rubbish here and I want rid of that, I right click in here and just say undo, and that will undo the typing. Or alternatively, you can type it in and do Control Z to undo your typing. Let's move on now and look at the Outstanding Tasks tab. Clicking on the Outstanding Tabs option gives you three further options. We can see which tasks are still in date, which are time expired, and which are incomplete. Now at the moment there's only one of the outcomes is complete, so 175 of them are still to be completed. The one which is complete was the one we filled in at the start. You'll notice also there's an additional piece of information given in this screen, and that is the date the last time the document was worked on. Just one additional tip here: if there are no further actions required for any outcome, putting the word none or something similar in the box will mean that it won't show up as an incomplete outcome. Okay, let's go back and have a look at the home screen again. As I said at the start, depending on which version of the software you've bought, you have the ability to create multiple audit documents. In this case, I'm going to show you how to create a new audit document, how to open it once it's been saved, and I'll talk also a bit about backup. Clicking on the New button here allows us to select where we want to save the audit document. I'm going to create it in here, and I'm just going to call it My Demo Audit. Save that. As soon as I do that, it creates a new blank audit document which is immediately displayed on the screen, ready for editing. Going back to the home screen, the Open button allows me to open an existing document I've previously saved. Clicking on the Open allows me to browse to where I saved the audit document previously. This of course could be on your local computer, or if you have a network it could be on a server or a shared area of a computer. The backup feature allows you to make a copy of the current document that's been worked on. It's a good idea to keep a backup of the document you're working on something like a USB flash drive. You'll notice now that the current document has been updated to My Demo Audit and that the location is shown as in My Documents. To exit the program, you can simply click on the Close button here.